Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. I have one of my Santa's reindeer mugs. This one's Donner. I love them. Today's video is going to be the end of the year book tag, and honestly this is a little bit late because I know it asks some questions about fall and some stuff, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, question 1 is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And yes, there's a couple that I've started. They're more nonfiction, or like I was reading them for a different purpose, like for my community group and stuff. So they're not, some of them are fiction, but a lot of them aren't. One of them is the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis. We started this and it was kind of like we were having discussions about it, and so we were jumping around and reading different chapters, but I want to go back and make sure I complete all of the chapters. So I can mark this as finished. Another one is, I think it's Women and the Gender of God by, I think it's Amy Peeler. Very interesting about her research and what she's found with historical stuff. So I would like to finish that one as well. And then there's a George MacDonald book that I started when I was in Germany. Oh, The Curate's Awakening. I'm almost done with, it's in 3 parts, but I think each part is a separate book. But the first part, The Curate's Awakening, I was almost finished with that, so I would like to finish that one as well. I didn't have much left to that. Those ones I've started. There's other ones that I would obviously like to get to and like to read, but that's another question. I'm sure there's some DNFs, like in theory, The Ritual by Chantal Tessier, but that might just be a hard DNF and not a soft DNF anymore. We'll see. And then question 2 is, do you have any autumnal books to transition to the end of the year? Well, we're kind of in winter. I know it's not officially winter, but we're basically in winter now. We're in December. So not really, but one that I do want to read is Fall at Once by Nora Everly. I've mentioned this one before. It looks like a really cute fall-themed book. The love interest is a firefighter, and I really want to read this, so I might get to it. We'll see if I get to it by the end of the year. I don't think so. That would be one I think you could transition to fall. And then question 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? No, not really. I feel like not a lot of books come out in December, which makes sense. The only one in theory I was waiting on was The Rebel and the Rose. That's it. In theory, I was waiting on that one because I think the physical book didn't release in the US until December, but the audiobook came out earlier, so I've already read it. So I'm not waiting for any new releases at the moment. I think that was the only one I had anticipated for December, but there could be some that I'm just not really aware of that came out or that are coming out. None that I can think of. Question 4 is, what are 3 books you would like to read before the end of the year? These are also in my December TBR, so you already know about them, but I would like to read Elf Against the Wall by Elena Jacobs. This one looks fun. It's like a biker, billionaire, bad boy, Christmas romance kind of a thing. And then A Soul as Cold as Frost by Jennifer Crope. That is a wintry, Christmas-inspired fantasy. With some danger and I think tournament elements, so I do really want to get to it. I wanted to get to it last year and I didn't, so I would like to get to it this year. And then Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. I feel like I learned about that book after I had already read like Christmas books last year, so it was like I learned about it end of December and January of last year, and it's been on my mind that I wanted to read it, so I really want to get to that one before the end of the year. I've heard it's really fun, and it's like 2 people that always, a guy and a girl that always are on the same flight back to Ireland for Christmas, and it just sounds really fun and cute. And then question 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? Probably not. I don't think so. Unless something like A Soul as Cold as Frost like really blows me away. Most of these are just kind of fun holiday romance books, and I don't think that's gonna beat, Silver Cloak or, other books that I've mentioned that I've read this year that I've loved. All of the like The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, Alchemized, A Rose in Chains, like, no. I don't think anything's gonna beat those. Then question 6, the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Of course, yes. I already have my January TBR kind of sorted out that I will film and get up for you guys. I already have that figured out. I have video ideas that I want to do, and it's more like I've had these ideas for a long time and I'm finally trying to like sort out how to actually film it. they're kind of tricky and it's kind of hard to know what to do with them, but I'm starting to make some progress with those. So I have a lot of video ideas that I would like to do, and video ideas that I want to get up. I want to talk about the Goodreads Choice Awards winners / nominees. I want to talk about like the books that I ended up reading this year, my favorites of this year, all those good things to come. A lot of books that I want to get read. Like I want to read a lot of books on my shelves. I want to finish some series that I've started. There's a lot of reading plans. I think we all make a lot of reading plans, whether we achieve them or not, but I do have them. Well, that is this short little video for today, but I would love to know your answers to these questions if you want to leave them in a comment down below, especially if there's any reading plans you have next year. Curious to see if you guys are planning that yet, or if there's books that you're like desperately trying to get to before the end of the year. And if you don't want to comment any of that, leave me a little Christmas tree emoji. Thank you so much for watching, but that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.